All right, we're here to defrost this fridge or find out why it's leaking water into the bottom of the fridge. That's what they're claiming, and there is the water. First thing, that tells me the defrost circuit is actually working. And that's where this water is coming from. So it's actually working. You can see from the tag it's an O2. So this is 2020, it's 18 years old. Numbers of issues. So I've already cleared this fridge out. We're gonna move here, so this won't even defrost by the time I'm done. Here's my tools of the trade. This is actually for blowing out the little defrost hole. It's probably full of ice. Okay, obviously screwdriver, little scraper, hair dryer. Don't use the heat gun, you'll be melting stuff. Now, I have this out, it's the defrost timer. I'm confident that it's actually functioning. And here's the defrost thermostat. It's usually a culprit if the little head pops off, but that won't be the case today. Most likely when I pull this right here, and this just comes from experience, when I pull this bottom plate out, you see that is iced up for whatever reason. The heater's not heating long enough or something else. Let's get to work. Video 2. First thing I do, when I come to the situation, you can see the fan is running, which means the compressor is running. I'm gonna come here, let me move some stuff out of the way. I am going to rotate the timer, so I'm in that correct hole. I'm gonna rotate that slowly until I go rotate it to the defrost cycle. It's usually like 20 minutes or 30 minutes of runtime for the compressor, and then, I apologize, that's not correct. It's like 8 hours runtime of the compressor, and then like 20 or 30 minutes of defrost. I've just snapped it into the defrost. The fan shuts off. Nice thing about this is that gives me about 20 minutes to clear all this out, which we're gonna do. I'm going to, hopefully that doesn't fly all over, like that. That's the sad non-benefit of having one hand videoing. Take that out. And sure enough, there is ice. This is iced up, and so when the defrost engages, it's going to run here and it's going to run down here. Now this is missing this guy. I'll replace that. This should be here. Not too big of a deal, but we'll find out. And I might adjust, if there's an adjustment in here, I might adjust so that more air goes down into the refrigerator area, which helps the coil in here not get so icy. All right, but we'll check everything out. We'll check and see the heater. Well, I can actually see that it's working. I can feel that the heater's working, and I knew it was. So I'm going to remove this guy, and I'm going to clear all that ice out, replace this. I will get this ice out here and see if any ice went down into this cavity or this cavity, and clear all that out so I can get good airflow. All right, video 3 next. Welcome to video 3. You see the, should not have rotated that, sorry. You can see that the defrost is working. And notice how high up the heater coil is. Let me see, where am I? Yeah, it's working very well. So, see, I'm gonna bend that back down gently. Or not so gently. These things are fairly robust. See, and there's the drain hole right there. We're gonna blast that out with that tube. I'm gonna fill it with warm water and shoot it down there, and that'll take care of everything. This right here, do not pull this out until you melt all this around. This has a styrofoam base that goes down into here about an inch, inch and a half. It will snap this right off. If you do break this, we got crazy glue in the box. Crazy glue it back together, or use a new one. But if you just crazy glue it back together, works just fine. This foil thing is important because it blocks the heat coming here from melting this top. So you want to have that. I wonder if this is the foil thing, but we'll find. No, there's one over here, so we're good. So then we'll take a look down there. That looks pretty clear. And that'll be good. Here's the defrost thermostat. This one looks still in good shape. Usually the head pops off when that goes bad. And if that happens, if this head pops off, usually this coil is completely full of ice, completely iced up, and will even be ice like on regions like this. If you see that, then you know it's a defrost timer issue or the defrost thermostat issue. And what you can do to test that theory is go ahead and cut the wires going to the defrost thermostat, wire them together, put it in defrost mode, with a timer down there, and if the heater comes on, then you know it's the defrost thermostat. If the heater doesn't come on, it's the defrost timer. All right, this is working really well. All right, so I'm gonna break this ice out and clear that drain tube and go from there. Video 4. Welcome to video 4. I have my 4 defrosting refrigerator. This is a Zoom spout oiler. Well, this is actually same. It's Zoom spout oiler or their rust buster from Zoom spout with the little extended thing for oiling pump motors and things. You just wash it out really well. This is indispensable as far as I'm concerned. It's filled with warm water right now from the tap. Run it until it's as hot as you can get it. Just wanted to show you after I cleared the ice out. Just gotta very gently move this guy. See, and that's just so prone to break. And if you really have an ice up due to a bad defrost thermostat or timer, this will be full of ice. This is still, I'm not gonna remove that until I clear this ice right here, because that'll crack this. So I wanted to show you how quickly you can do that. Sticking right down in there and squeeze. And that's it. You can't hear that, but you can hear it draining down into the oil pan, into the little evaporator pan above the compressor. Now I'm gonna go ahead and shoot a little more water in there to get any residual ice out, and that's it. And I'll go ahead and bend this down. There's a clip in here. I'll bend that one down too. Second one. There's a clip in here. I might modify this clip to get this as close as possible. This just bends up over time from the heating and cooling, and that's probably what happened here. So I'll get this as low as possible. We'll put it all back together. It's still ticking on the defrost side, and I'm still within my 20-30 minutes defrost. This way I know the defrost timer is working as well. It's a nice secondary check. I know everything's working, although in this particular case I already know that because there's water in the bottom of the refrigerator. That's what I will do last. I'll clean the water in the bottom of the refrigerator, and we'll go from there. Now, I can see that somebody's changed this guy already, and there's the heat shrink tubing. You can also use, instead of heat shrink tubing, these are gel-filled, waterproof connectors. This is just as good. No harm, no foul. These are filled with waterproof goop, and that's a very nice product. I can't really show you this right now, but when you turn this can upside down, it releases the liquid that's very cold. You can actually physically test the defrost thermostat to see if it's actually functioning. The heater will turn on even after if you replace one and it's warm, you can cool it down to the point where it will actually turn on, and you can test the circuit if you really want to. I seem to be missing the tube on this one, but that would be nice. This box is in a little bit of a disarray. Try to have all parts as much as I can. Standard parts that I use. I have a few downstairs. like that little styrofoam diffuser, I'll go find one of these downstairs and put it there. All right, wait for video 5. Welcome to video 5. It has gone through its defrost and it has started the cooling cycle. Now I don't have the backing on here. I was about to put my finger in the fan there. So the airflow's not quite right. You can see the coil's frosting up. It's not getting enough airflow through. That's actually a good sign. That's telling me there's Freon in the rig. All right, well, I've gotten the 2 units here, and we'll make sure it's clear, free and clear, free and clear, free and clear. These come in 2 pieces. The little notch is up top. I probably will not be able to do this with single hand, so there. And we'll gently put that back in. Put this one back in. This is free and clear as well. All right. Now, I'm going to pull this off. Two things snap and this comes off. Now there's an adjustment here. I don't know if you can see. Warmer, colder, right? So I'm actually going to move that to, I think it's warmer. I'm going to make sure that the refrigerator body, not the freezer body, gets more air. So I think this is talking about the freezer part. So I'm going to make the freezer part a little warmer and the refrigerator a little colder. Because it's an old refrigerator and it's probably running a little low on Freon, so the temperatures are running a little colder in the freezer anyway. That's just something you learn with time. All right, this is video 6. Show you how to reassemble this. I've actually turned the unit off with the thermostat. We are going to put in this guy first. I've adjusted the, can't really see it, the little air damper for maximum flow down into the refrigerator cavity. Now, I've got to lift it up and over those 2 styrofoam diffusers, I guess. See? Put it like that. It might get caught on one of them or the other. We're going to gently put that into place. All right, hopefully the 2 screw holes line up. So you can see they do. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clip the ground in for that. We're going to put the 2 screws in, which I have right here. Try and do that one-handed. Should be fun. Now if this is iced up in areas like here and here, you got to hit that with the hairdryer and melt that first before you take it out, so you can damage things. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, and we're going to put the cover on for the ice maker that we never installed. There you go. Like we had one ice maker back here in the day. Alright, I am going to have to hold this. I'm going to put this down for a second. definitely a two-hand job. All right, I'll screw that one in later. Let's go put the bottom in. If you want to be nice, you can clean it. This one's fairly clean. I just put this in backwards. Of course, right? Okay. All right, slides in. You can see where the holes go right there. And you got the two clips here. I'm going to put these in first. These are the longer ones, if you ever wonder. Get these started, just makes it easier on you. Please get those started on these. Just snap back in. And then we'll get the food in. And I am not tightening that at all. Barely finger tight. It's too much plastic in here. All right, so in every refrigerator thermostat there is a normal. We're going to set it back to normal, which you'll find when it really ices up, the ice will actually block the airflow into the refrigerator box. And then to compensate, they'll go ahead and turn it up. And that actually makes matters worse. It even ices up the freezer cavity even more. So always reset it to normal. We can go just a little bit higher. But you always have to reset it because tenants will do what they do, try and compensate. Fair enough. But the problem is ice and airflow. And always remember to reset that. And you can come in here and this air is going in these and it should be coming out like right here. And yes, I can feel a lot of nice air coming out of both sides. There's, let's see if I can get in there and show you. There's, comes out of both sides of this unit, back and front. And it's important that air is coming out of both. Sometimes there's a big piece of ice in there and it will block you. All right, I'm gonna clean up not only here, but down here. Oh, this is actually, got this early. Usually there's water down here and maybe some ice and water, a little bit of water in there. That's not too bad at all. So we'll clean up and get the food back in. All right, I think this is the last video. One more quick video. This is fairly full, but not too full. If you want to really be slick, I didn't do this. You can snap a picture of where everything went and then put it back as best you can, which is kind of nice. I've kind of jumbled her stuff. She's probably not going to complain. It's just a level of service. And sometimes there's grills here where the airflow, on my hair, the air comes this way and then comes back here. And then you, oh, actually, it's right here. So you don't want to block these. You want to make sure that there's airflow in this cavity. And if it's too full, and something blocking the fan or blocking the return, and it might be here and it might be in the back, you can't really see it. Gotta keep everything clear. Have to have airflow. All right, so picture and airflow. All right, I've blocked that open because this has a very nice pitch and closes really well. Make sure nothing is blocking that. I've reset the thermostat, the fridge. Things seem to be working. I haven't cleaned that yet, I will. And we're done.